All right, good afternoon, everybody. And what time is it? Well, it is mulberry time, and mulberry fruit is the first fruit that you're going to get of the season. These are the first trees to ripen up, and then after that, of course, we're going to get apples and peaches and mangoes and all that good stuff. But mulberries are kind of first, so I wanted to go over a couple of these trees and to show you guys how productive these trees actually are. And just one tree, let alone I have 7 mulberry trees. So I am getting, let me see if I can gently pour this out. I'm getting I'm getting 10 of these buckets per day per tree. So you do the math. I've harvested over 100 pounds of these mulberries already, and they are still kind of going strong, really still pumping on the fruit. And man, I tell you, these are high quality berries. These things are just beautiful. You can tell by my fingers. My fingers are all stained purple. So why more people don't plant mulberry trees in Arizona, I don't know. I think it's just because of the staining, because they do stain purple, the purple varieties, but of course there are white varieties of mulberries also. So if you guys don't want to have the birds pooping or have the berries fall and stain, because they will. But man, look at these beautiful berries. And I'm freezing a lot of these is what I'm doing with my extra, and I'm also making some ice cream. That's what I'm going to be doing today, is making some mulberry ice cream. So um, let's go over the trees. Let's go over a couple of these trees so you can kind of see what they look like with fruit on them, and kind of what to expect, because I'm telling you guys, everybody in Arizona should have at least one mulberry tree, if not 7, because these are the perfect microclimate tree for your yard, and they also provide so much fruit, so much good quality fruit. So let's go take a look at some of the trees, because I've got some pretty interesting mulberry trees. Okay, so this is tree number 1, and this is in my front yard. And what's interesting about this particular tree is this was a seedling that popped up. This one grew on its own, and then it branched into 3. And so then what I did was I grafted 3 different kinds of mulberries onto the same tree. So I've got a Pakistan on this side, I've got a Shangrila in the middle, and I've got a white mulberry here on the side. And every one of these is fruiting. I grafted these last year. And so there's the Shangri-Las. And the Pakistanis, they come on later. They're way up here. You see the fruit there. So this has a really cool shape, because not only is it the 3 trees, the 3 different varieties on one tree, but it's got a cool shape because you've got the weeping from the Shangri-La mulberry, which is down here, and then you got the upright growth of the Pakistani mulberry. So you've got a weeping on the bottom, which gives you some nice shade on the bottom, and then you've got that nice high growth there to provide microclimate. But man, this tree is gorgeous now and fruiting. So let's walk on down to the next one. And man, look at the leaves on this one. So this is a Shangri-La mulberry. Beautiful leaves, and I'm telling you guys, huge leaves. There's my hand. Compared, they get enormous leaves. So you want to talk about a microclimate tree. This tree has a beautiful canopy and just loaded full of fruit. Just beautiful mulberries. Look at these. Look at that bloody mess. But man, look at those berries. Just beautiful. I think I will. I think I will eat those. Just beautiful. Beautiful, plump, juicy berries. Messy, very messy. So this tree has gotten quite a canopy on it now. It's pretty tall and it's really wide. And this gives me a lot of afternoon shade on the house because it damn near blots out the sun. This is a really dark undergrowth underneath this one. Let's move on over to the next one, which you can see is back here providing all this afternoon shade. And this is also a Shangrila. You see the big leaves. And I'll tell you what, this one is just full, just completely full of fruit. So I picked the other one. I'm going to work on this one next. But man, this one's big too. This one provides a lot of afternoon shade. Gives a little bit of shade to the dragon fruit. But man, it is dark under there. You want to talk about dark. This is pure dark. I know the camera is giving it a little bit of light here. Oh man, look at that. I think I will. But it is really dark under here. So this one really provides a lot of shade. All right, let's go look at another one. Okay, so I lied. I actually have 8. I actually have 8 mulberries in the ground. This is a dwarf mulberry. And you can see he's really not so dwarf. It just really kind of means dwarf of the original tree. So these can still get 20 feet tall. And then the fruit is really small on these, but it is really prolific. So let me see if I can hold a branch still enough here for you to see. It's got a lot of fruit on it, but they're tiny. So to be honest with you, like I don't even eat these. Like I let the birds have all these because I've got pounds and pounds of the other. And you can kind of see as in size comparison how small the fruit are on these. Now they're good and they're prolific. So I mean, they're gonna put on a million of these little berries. But I more or less consider these kind of like survival food. These would be like the last thing that I get, and I also like to give a little bit of the benefit of the birds having some berries too. So these are dwarf mulberries, guys. They're tiny, they're itsy bitsy, and they are a little bit sour too. They're not really ever as sweet as the bigger mulberries. So, all right, well I'll just go ahead and eat this handful since I already got them picked. All right, let's go look at a couple more. All right, so we're back here with the big dogs. So these mulberries are a little bit older, but even then they're not that old. They're like 5 or 6, and you can see how big they are compared to the rainbow eucalyptus, which is right here. And this is a Shangrila mulberry, and you can see that it canopies like a huge portion of my backyard now. And huge leaves. And once again, it's going to kind of blot out the sun, guys. I'm telling you, you want shade, here you go. It is dark back here. Dark, dark. Once again, the camera is giving it a little bit more light than that is available. But this one is, I mean, this is the show winner. This tree just puts on huge plump berries. Get that in the light so they'll actually focus. I mean, that's a nice thick juicy berry. And when I tell you guys juicy, I mean these are juicy. These aren't really like the Pakistani. The Pakistani are a little bit more dry and you can transport those a little bit better. But these almost like burst in your hand as you pick them, guys. I'm telling you, like juicy. Like, look at this. You could never transport this berry anywhere. I mean, you have to pretty much eat it, but I mean, heck, my fingers are already stained. Why not? Why not show you guys kind of the juice that's in one of these mulberries? Because I wasn't kidding. I mean, that's amazing. That is beautiful fruit for Arizona, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and slurp that juice up. Oh my gosh, now my face is probably purple. All right, back to this delicious mulberry. So there's so many on this tree that I can't even keep up. It's just literally berry after berry after berry. So this is my show winner. This is the Shangrila. This one's huge and just so full of fruit. I'm telling you, everywhere you look, massive amounts of fruit and big old juicy berries. Come here, guys. I'm going to be a mess after this video. Look at these. This is worth it. This is why I do this. I don't care. I'm here by myself, so who cares if I paint myself purple, I guess. All right, let's go on to the next one, which is another Pakistani. And this one's big too. This one kind of canopies the back half, kind of takes over where the Shangri-La kind of leaves off. And of course, huge berries on the, I'm getting hit by berries. On the Pakistani. So the Pakistani is going to have a longer berry. Grab some of these off the ground here. They're a longer berry. There's a nice one there. Okay, so these are the Pakistanis. So you can see that they're a longer berry. They're much more firm, so you can actually transport these. You can kind of see I can kind of rub these against each other, and they're not going to break open. So you can transport these better. And these are a little bit more like a meal. So you can't really eat that many of these. Like, I can eat as many of the Shangri-Las as I want, because it's just pure sugar basically, and it doesn't really register in your stomach that you're eating anything. So you can just pound those Shangrila mulberries. But these are like meaty. These are like kind of like a meal. If you eat about 10 of these, like, you're stuffed and you're kind of done with mulberries for that day. So the mulberries are wildly different between the varieties of the Pakistanis and the dwarfs and the Shangri-La. So let's check out the last one here. Okay, so this one's enormous. You can see, right? And this one's really interesting because this one was also a seedling, okay? So this one was producing seedling sized fruits, you know, little tiny fruits. And I wasn't really getting much off of these. And so I grafted this one. I cut the top off and I grafted, there's two Pakistani branches in here, cuttings in here. And of course they grew and they produced fruit last year, but then they also produced fruit this year. But what's also interesting about this tree is, for some reason, it changed the fruit on the whole entire tree. So every branch now is putting on the Pakistani berries. Like you can see here, you can see them a little bit better over here maybe. So it's really strange because it like changed the hormones of the tree or something to make it all fruit with these giant berries. So it's completely covered in giant Pakistan berries, even though those are seedling branches, if that makes any sense. So it's really neat that you can really change and mess with the hormones of this tree. Yeah, see, there's the big Pakistani berries. That one's not quite ready, but I'm gonna pick it anyway just to show you. the size there. So yeah, it's just very interesting. So this one's also loaded full of fruit. And like I said, the Pakistanis come a little bit later than the Shangri-La, so you've got a little bit of an extended harvest there. But yeah, now this whole tree is covered in those giant berries, even though there's only 2 branches that are grafted. All right, guys, that's mulberries. I definitely think everybody should plant at least one, like I said, if not 4, 5, 6, 7, especially if you've got larger properties. You can get by with more of these. Ooh, look at those ones. There's one's almost ready. So see, they're coming on. They're coming on. They're just a little bit later. And if you guys are interested in mulberry trees and you want to try mulberries, or you want to get cuttings or trees that were propagated from my trees, just go ahead and let me know. Stop by on the weekends. The nursery is open, and I've got the Pakistanis and some Shangri-Las from my trees. So, all right, guys, that's it. Get out and get a couple mulberries. Thank you for watching.